In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing these Stihl Bluetooth ear defenders. Now, I bought these myself and I have no affiliation with Stihl, so this is just my honest review on this product. Out the box, you get the ear defenders, a manual and a charging cable. I got these from Amazon for £98, which I didn't think was too bad, to be fair, for a decent set of headphones or ear defenders. So I wasn't originally going to buy these. I was going to get the ISO-tune ear defenders, but I watched and read a couple of reviews and a lot of people said that they were really quiet, and it kind of defeats the object if you're in a loud environment if you can't hear whatever you're listening to. So decided against that and I decided to get these instead. I'm not a big fan of reviews that are straight out of the box without giving them a real world test, so I've been using these ear defenders, as you can probably see, for a few months now. I've used them probably 40 or 50 times and I absolutely love them. I've used them for loads of different things. In the workshop when using a compressor, the drill press, recip saw. I've used them with the chainsaw, including cutting two felled trees into logs. I've used them with the lawnmower when spraying, and then I often use them just as headphones when I'm doing jobs that don't require ear defenders. I'm going to be giving you my honest review on the following categories: sound quality, ear protection, build, comfort, controls, features and battery life. First up is ear protection, since these are first and foremost ear defenders. I've actually been really impressed with these. Obviously, if you're using loud equipment, you can still hear a fair bit through them, but it's only when you take them off that you actually realise how much hearing protection that you're actually getting. It also made me realise how much stress I was probably putting on my eardrums before. Because these have the Bluetooth to listen to music, I pretty much wear these all the time whenever I'm working now, so whenever I'm doing a loud job, I've always got hearing protection. The sound quality of these is actually really decent. It's actually the main reason that I picked these over the ISO-tunes, because of the reviews that said these had much higher sound quality. The biggest compliment I can probably give these is the fact that I don't really miss my Beats that I previously used, and I don't really notice the difference, especially in loud environments. Rest in peace, Beats. That being said, they're obviously not going to be studio quality headphones, but that's not what you need in a product like this. You just need reasonable quality sound and it loud enough that you can hear it in louder environments. They're definitely loud enough for me. I very rarely turn these up anywhere near full, and when I previously used to use my Beats, they were constantly on full volume. In noisy environments, I wasn't just blasting my ears normally. The build quality of these is great. They're nice and solid. I've dropped them, knocked them, used them in torrential rain, as you can see, dusty environments, and generally just given them a pretty tough time, and they've been absolutely spot on. I also don't feel the need to be overly careful with these because I know they can handle anything that you throw at them. Don't actually throw stuff at them though. Well, you can if you want. It's your money. I normally wear these for at least an hour at a time, and I've used them constantly, probably for about 4 hours non-stop, and they've been perfect really. They don't give you any ear or temple pain, and I quite often with a lot of headphones get that sort of hot, achy ear pain, whereas these, because they go fully over the ear and they've got nice cushioning, I don't get any of that. This is probably the one thing that I'm not massively keen on. I don't use the controls that often, but I find them to lack feedback when pressing the buttons. There's not much of a click or feeling when you press them, so sometimes I have to press a few times to make sure that I've activated the control. The middle button offers play and pause, as well as being the power button when long pressed. Then the side buttons are volume and forward and back skipping when long pressed. The buttons work absolutely fine. I just prefer a more tactile button that you can actually feel when you press. These, especially if you're wearing gloves, sometimes it can actually be hard to press them. By no means a deal breaker, but it's the one downside that I think these have got. These aren't a massively feature heavy product, but they do a job of protecting your ears and listening to music or podcasts really well. The one feature that they do have is call answering. So you can actually answer phone calls when using these, and there's a built-in microphone which I think is this one here. I've tested this a few times and it works really well, so no complaints with that either. Strangely, onto my favourite part, which is the battery life. Usually headphone manufacturers, when they claim a stated battery life, they'll do it in the perfect environment, and in reality you'll probably only get about 3/4 of the battery life that they've stated. Stihl claimed that the battery life on these is 38 hours, and to be honest, they couldn't have really got it more wrong. I used these for about 38 hours straight out of the box, so they might not even have been fully charged, and when I checked on my iPhone for the battery level, it was still showing at 70%. I'd say I've probably used these well over 100 hours now, and it was only on my final use before filming this review that the battery warning sounded. Even then, after the battery warning sounded, I used these for about 2 more hours and it was still showing at 10%. I genuinely couldn't believe how long these lasted out of the box. The battery life is ridiculously good on these. I've got absolutely no doubts that you could do a full working week on these, and to be honest, you'd most likely do 2 full weeks and you wouldn't even need to charge them. So my final thoughts on these Bluetooth ear defenders. It's probably the best 100 quid that I've spent this year. I've always been really bad at using ear defenders. I have got some cheap ones, but to be honest, I only ever pulled them out when I was using a chainsaw. But now, because whilst I'm working, I'm normally listening to some music, I've always got these on, which means whenever I'm using something loud, I've always got hearing protection. I did have high hopes for these when I ordered them. Obviously, Stihl are a pretty good, well-known brand, so I did expect a lot from these, but to be honest, they're about 10 times better than I even thought they'd be. I genuinely just wouldn't be without these now. So I hope this unbiased review has been helpful for you. If you've enjoyed it, leave a comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel to help it grow, and I'll see you in the next one.